Has Ukraine just done it again? Have they carried out another drone strike against Russia? Have a look at this. Ukraine may have carried out another drone strike against Russia. Ukraine may have destroyed over 100 Russian vehicles using hidden drones on a military train, showcasing initiative tactics that strain Russian logistics and raise questions about Kiev's approach to peace talks. This is pretty big. These hidden drone attacks are showing a weakness in Russia's defence and their security. And to wipe out 100 Russian vehicles is a logistic nightmare and a massive blow to Russia. Just a week after Security Services of Ukraine SBU launched a daring drone strike on multiple Russian air bases, the Southern Defence Forces of Ukraine claimed to have carried out another brazen attack. This time destroying more than a dozen Russian tanks and at least 100 other armoured vehicles that were being transported on a Russian train in occupied section of country's south. Like I said, this is a massive logistical nightmare and a massive blow to their logistic chain and just further to their resupplies and their security and defence. It's not looking good, and I'm sure Putin is most probably fuming. Ukrainian drones flew out of a grain train car hatches and destroyed 13 Russian tanks and more 100 armoured vehicles of equipment being transported by the Russian train in occupied southern Ukraine. The hatches to appear have opened remotely. So it looks like Ukraine really have found a way of getting their drones into Russian territory undetected and then being able to operate them from a far distance and remotely open these hatches and let these drones unleash without being seen. And it really just shows how warfare is changing so quickly. Gone are the days where, you know, you're petrified of artillery shells, mortar shells, even fast air. Fast air, artillery, they can all be detected now and can be shot down pretty rapidly, as drones are extremely hard to hit. They're small, they can be hidden well, and they can be operated remotely. Drones allow Ukraine to stand up to Russia, and that's what it's doing. Russia was hammering, they were bullying Ukraine, and now Ukraine have found a way to basically stand up to them, strike back, and show their force. If confirmed, this would be the second covert attack that Kiev has carried out right under Russia's nose. That's what's embarrassing for Russia. Beyond demonstrating how small unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, can serve as a force multiplier for Ukraine, it will also require the Kremlin to heighten its security nearly everywhere. The problem is, Russia can obviously heighten their security, but the border is so vast, so long. The war is so large, the amount of transport vehicles, trains, personnel, trucks that they've got coming in and out. It's going to slow down their resupply, slow down their logistic chain, because everything needs to be checked over and over again, a lot more intensely. And it is just going to be a massive nightmare. It's going to slow everything down, and it's going to slow Russia getting anything to the front line. The drones provide a form of asymmetrical warfare, as they were launched from transport trucks within Russia without the drivers even knowing what they were carrying. This is the thing as well. Drivers just pick up a load, being told it's one thing, but it's absolutely something else. Wooden crates, they're not going to look inside, but that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to start looking inside every truck that the driver's picking up, and that's what's going to slow it down. Since the start of the war, low-cost drones have been successful in targeting high-value assets, but these coordinated assaults were unlike anything seen in modern warfare. At least a dozen long-range strategic bombers were believed to have been destroyed last week. We know about that at the air bases, while Kiev has claimed that more than 40 or a third of Russia's bomber force was damaged or destroyed by drones. Now, they were either sort of destroyed or neutralised, which is once again going to slow down Russia. They've either got to basically remove those aircraft and replace them, or they've got to repair them and take parts from another aircraft to repair other ones. So it is slowing down their capability. It's neutralising them. It's not completely destroying them, but it's definitely neutralising some of the assets that they've got. Kiev is now alleging its drone strikes on Saturday afternoon local time resulted in the destruction of a Russian railway locomotive, 13 tanks and more than 100 other vehicles. It is possible some of the equipment on the train could have been salvaged and repaired, but the loss of a locomotive would be more serious blow. Yeah, definitely. A locomotive, a train is expensive. It's a great way of transporting kit, equipment, munitions, fuel, people, whatever it is, from one place to another. So if you destroy that, you're taking out a massive transport asset. You're slowing down the resupply, even stopping a lot of vehicles, equipment, munitions, food, whatever it is, get into the front line. So it's a massive, massive blow. And if you want to be refueled and resupplied, then make sure you head over to combatreadyhq.co.uk. Check out our amazing tasting coffee, premium coffee. We've got a few different blends, reasonably priced, and we transport internationally. So whether you're on operations, exercise, going to the gym in the morning, we've got you covered, okay? It really helps support the channel as well, so I can keep putting out great content for you. And if you want some supplements, protein, creatine, head over to Combat Fuel as well. Right, let's carry on with this. Although the state-owned railway RZHD has approximately 20,000 locomotives, only a small fraction are designed for military transport and can carry heavy tanks. Yeah, not every train is going to be able to carry a 60, 70 ton tank, or even an armoured vehicle, or fuel, coal, whatever it is. Certain vehicles, certain transport vehicles have to be used for certain bits of equipment. So you start taking out all their military transport vehicles, then you're going to neutralize the resupply, and Russia are going to be in a massive, massive issue. It's already been rumored that they've struggled to basically keep up with the movement on the front line, getting equipment, clothing, food, and personnel to the front line. So if you start taking out their transport, military transport, you're just going to make that even harder. This is a massive blow. While the Kremlin had vast stockpiles of tanks to draw from, so they say, even if some were arguably well past their prime, exactly how good are they? Are they serviceable? Can they actually get about? Can they actually do any damage when they're on the front line, or are they just too old and had it? The same isn't remotely true for train locomotives. Each loss is as severe as the bombers that were destroyed. Something that large, you can't just constantly replace and have loads of them. Bombers, they're expensive. Trains, they're expensive. They're large. There's only so much you can have. Moreover, Russian forces would have to clear the wreck if the train derailed, which is possible and even likely if the locomotive was attacked. The exact location isn't known, but it could be within striking distance of Ukrainian rockets, missiles, and even additional drones that could put any recovery effort into the hot zone. That's another thing as well. It's basically taking manpower, it's taking money, it's taking resupply vehicles, assets, personnel over to that derailed possible train, that destroyed train, and you've then got to move it. You're not then taking out a railway network, slowing down a line. They've also got to bring assets into that, money into that. This war's costing enough as it is to then move that train, okay, that locomotive. So this is a massive blow for Russia. Last couple of weeks, Ukraine have really stepped up their assaults, okay? They've gone on to the offensive. They're really striking deep into Russian territory. What are they trying to say? Are they possibly saying, look, we're going to advance on you soon if you carry on? Or are they just trying to sort of push back on the bullying and say, look, you need to step back. We need to do peace talks. You need to withdraw. Otherwise, we're going to keep striking into Russian territory. We've shown you we can do it, and we're going to continue. What is it? I'd love to know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.